Classic Country 100.1 WGLC. I'm Charles Van Horn alongside Brian in front Foley. Well, we've made it to the last game of the season. It has been a rocky road for your Trojans. Of course, last week coming off that loss against Princeton. Another tough matchup tonight against Sterling Newman. The good news is it is going to be a gorgeous night weather-wise, and they're going to be doing something special for the seniors. How important is it for those seniors on this last football game of their high school career?
It's something you never forget. I can remember my last game at Belleville West, and it's fun, it's sad, it's all the emotions that you would have. So, hoping that they send the seniors out with some good feelings tonight.
Sterling Newman, it is not going to be their last game. They are already playoff eligible. They are currently at 6-2. Now, last week they came off a loss to Kewanee, 34-8. But Sterling Newman wants to get to 7 wins to get a better position in the postseason. Sterling's going to be a tough contest tonight.
Yeah, they have stuff to play for, so they're gonna want to get ahead early and make sure this game is safe and put away. Mendota, like we always say, you have to play your 3 phases. The last couple of weeks have been tough. We like to pass. The ball has been wet, and last week the wide receiver and quarterback and the wide receivers really had a hard time getting synced up. So hopefully we can get that passing game going early and get a couple of touchdowns on the board and make this thing exciting for the seniors.
And we talked to Coach Keegan Hill before tonight's contest against Sterling Newman. Talking to Coach Keegan Hill ahead of tonight's game, last home game of the year. Before we get into visiting Sterling Newman, let's talk about that Princeton game. On the road in Princeton, knew it was going to be a tough one. What were some of the positives of that contest?
The fact that we got to play, weather conditions were not great. The prospect of storms was not great. A tile blowing out in the field before the game and still getting that fixed before we played the game, that could have got in the way. So the opportunity to play was our number one positive. And then other than that, the opportunity to see like some really good football players and have a chance to compete against them.
The Trojans, obviously, we've had a rough start to the year, and now we're to the end of the season, and things obviously didn't go as planned. You guys always want to try to do the best you can, and this year, looking like only 1 win so far. What do you think for the program? What can you build upon on a year like this?
Every week we want to play our best game. Throughout the season, we have grown as a team. The accomplishments on the field as far as stats or scores or wins. So many positive things as far as people being healthy and having better grades than they've ever had. People developing as players that the average eye doesn't see. We've gotten to see a lot of that. So those are some of the examples I can think of right off the top of my head.
Now we're going to be honoring the seniors tonight before the game. Let's talk about the seniors you have in your squad. You've seen them for 4 years. What seniors have impressed you? What have you noticed in regards to their growth over the last 4 years of their high school playing career?
Out of the 6 of them, they've gotten to experience COVID. They've got to experience a playoff game. They've got to experience being first-year players to role players to two-way starters to playing quarterback for 1 whole season and then being asked to play defense and quarterback as a senior. Xavier Roscoe's is first full year playing any sport in high school, so being able to play almost every snap of defensive line and having a role on offense as a tight end, he's had enormous value. Logan Wiak being very serviceable on the offensive and defensive line. Diego Sandoval being a vocal leader. Dimitri Rodriguez being available and positive and one of the best hype guys on the team. Dean Gilbert growing into a linebacker and a very serviceable player. There are not very many of them, but they all added value and have grown a lot over their football experience.
And you personally, over the last 6 seasons now, right? 6 going on 7 next year. What have you learned so far about the community, Mendota, and what it takes to be a leader in Trojan Town?
It's a big responsibility. We get to learn every kid's story and What does this group identify as? What does this, from year to year, whether it's the freshman class, sophomore class, junior class, senior class. Our coaching staff has been together. It's been one of the keys to building a stable, positive relationship with a lot of these kids and giving them structure in their day. And we really enjoy that part of the job. The community, we get to be in the Venn diagram, middle of the Venn diagram on a lot of things. So whether it's the kids' families, their school life, their academics, their social decisions, like we're right in the center of that. So we want to move the needle in a positive direction in all of those things. We want to educate on, whatever that might be, decision making, accountability, competitiveness, moving the needle in all those different areas, and seeing them develop. Those are the wins that don't go in the win-loss category. So, now, do we want to win? Absolutely. Do we want to prepare to have our best game every week? Absolutely. But seeing the kids represent us in a first-class manner and learn and grow from their mistakes and get ready for the next opportunity, we cherish that just as much.
Tonight, Sterling Newman comes to town. They play on turf. We play on turf. So they're going to be definitely comfortable with our field. They're going to be a very strong team. They're looking for good postseason positioning. What can you expect to see out of the Comets?
Physical, quick, a lot of variety on defense. They like to possess the ball on offense. They don't want to take a lot of chances. So running the ball and having a safe passing game are things that they aspire to do on the offensive side of the ball. Historically, a good program. They play really, really hard. We need to play our best to have a chance to finish off on a high note.
Coach, it's been a great season. We look forward to seeing the Trojans take the field tonight. Let's go out there and give it them all. Good luck.
Thanks. Go Trojans.
So we'll have your contest tonight. Senior night activities might delay the start of the game. We're shooting for around 6:50, but it could be closer to 7-ish. We'll see what happens as your 1-7 Trojans get ready to take on 6-2 Sterling Newman. A big senior night activity. If you can't make it out here to watch the game in person and cheer your Trojans on, of course, listen to your radio and your smart speaker. Do you know what you ask your smart speaker to do to hear us?
Play WGLC.
Fantastic. So that's what we'll have for you tonight. We'd like to thank our sponsors throughout the year, including our title sponsor, the law offices of Schweiker, Ganis, Kurzak, and Rendio Injury Attorneys. I'm Charles Van Horn alongside Brian in front Foley. We look forward to a great night of football here on Classic Country 100.1 WGLC. Don't fall over.